7 in all, and in today's video I'm going to be doing a plan with me for a week of homeschool. In this video I will be walking you through my real process for planning my next homeschool week, and I'm also going to be throughout the video sharing some tips that hopefully can help you or inspire you in your own planning process, because of course your homeschool is going to be different from mine. So your process isn't going to be exactly the same, but I hope I can still share with you some helpful ideas and inspiration. Now, my first strategy that I use is that I only plan for the things that need planning. And this is because some of the curriculum I use doesn't need any planning. It's just get out the book, turn to the next page, and do it. This is like our Math You See math and our All About reading curriculum. It's just do the next thing that you're supposed to do in the next lesson the next day. I don't plan how many we're gonna do. I don't plan any of that. I have a young child. It can kind of vary what we get done in it every day. I just know we're gonna work on it. We're gonna work on our math. We're gonna work on our reading every day. But I don't plan ahead of time what we're going to do because those curriculums don't require it. However, some of the curriculums I use do require a little bit of planning. I don't use super complicated curriculums. That's not really my style, but I do have to do a little bit of planning. So my usual routine is that I'll sit down on a Friday afternoon, and very first thing I'll do is I'll spread everything out on the table that I need to plan, the different teacher guides. This is following the famous organization principle that the mess always gets worse before it gets better. So let's get started. All right, the process has begun. I have laid out everything I need on the table, and from here I can see what I need and I can get working. So over here I have my 2 Sonlight guides, I have my beautiful Mundo guide, then I have Gentle and Classical Primer and Gentle and Classical Nature over there. I also have my super fancy boxes in which I store all of my Gentle and Classical cards. One is a recycled cardboard box and the other one used to contain shortbread cookies but now contains cards for our science. I also have my planner. As you can see, I don't write very much in my planner during the initial planning process, but I'll kind of give you a peek into it as we go. I do have scratch paper because that's where I start. So I have my scratch paper here, and my goal with planning is just to know the general plan for what I'm going to do each day in schoolwork for the things that I do have to plan. And so I'll fold my scratch paper in half and write Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and I'll write that on both sides because I have 2 main kind of school sessions during the day, one over breakfast and one over morning snack time. And I know which schoolwork, because we stick to the same habit, we stick to the same rhythms. I know which programs I'm mainly following for each school session. So for our breakfast school session, I'll write it on this side of the paper, and I'll write SL for the first 4 days, because for Sonlight, I don't really have to actually plan much. So I know that we'll do our Sonlight for the first 4 days of the week. What I do look at and what I do try to plan is I try to look at these little kind of extra optional things at the bottom, developmental activities or music, because sometimes there are some cool practical life activities or different activities in here that I might want to incorporate, and writing them down ahead of time on my little plan for the week helps me remember to actually incorporate them. So for this week, I see they say juice an orange, which I don't have a little hand juicer, but maybe we could make some kind of fruit slushy or something in our blender, fruit juice in our blender. And we have a song, I'm in the Lord's Army, and we have jump roping. Then over here, practical life activity is mystery bag, and they explain this, but it's basically putting an item in the bag and having your child put their hand in and try to guess and describe what it is. Those all sound fun. So what I'm gonna do with these, what I typically do, because during our morning time, we're just really doing singing or reading aloud. We're not doing those kind of active activities, but I will note them on the side. I'll write down, let's make some fruit juice sometime this week. And let's practice with our jump rope. We do get that out occasionally, but not too often. So it's a good reminder to actually get out the jump rope and do something with it. Mystery bag was a fun one. And any songs that were recommended in Sonlight, I will just add them to our weekly playlist, which I'll show you later on. But that's all I really do for Sonlight. I like to jot down that we're usually finished with Sonlight by the first 4 days of the week. since it's only scheduled for 4 days in preschool, to remind myself that I can add in something extra or do some reading from a different program during our Friday breakfast session, because the kids are still gonna want books on Friday. So besides Sonlight, then I will try to separate and write down what I'm going to do from our unit in Beautiful Mundo. This is our Spanish literature, poetry, and music curriculum. So we're on week 10 in this. If you can see that, we have a picture book scheduled. We have a few poems to read, a song to sing. We're going to be practicing with the la letra M, and then the syllables ma, me, mi, mo, mu. So, and it looks like another little song over here. So basically, I'll look at everything we're kind of supposed to be doing on this page, and then I'll think about in my mind, how do I want to separate that out by day of the week? So I'll take a moment to do that now. All right, so pretty quickly I'm done with that task. I just have to kind of plan out, okay, we have our picture book, so we'll read that repeatedly a couple times throughout the week. The poems, we probably won't read repeatedly, we'll just read one time. The songs, I will put them in my playlist so that we will hear them repeatedly, but we'll probably only do them once or twice during our morning time. I did add one more suggested activity to the side of the page, which was hide and seek. And yeah, I'm not the kind of mom who's like super fun and plays hide and seek with my kids all the time. I usually delegate that to their papa. But so it's a good idea to write it down and say, okay, I'll play hide and seek and I'll try to narrate that in Spanish for our Spanish schoolwork. So now I can start on my snack time, jotting down what we're going to be doing. And this is where I'll jot down what we're doing in our Gentle and Classical Primer and Nature, which is our nature science study of the oceans, as well as our catechism and Bible, our wonder tales, which are usually folk tales, and so on. So I'm basing this off of the units that we're in, which here is Unit 27 and Unit 4. Now, both of these guides, if you're interested in them, are available for free. Just the guide is available for free on the Gentle and Classical website, and I do have multiple videos on how I use these curriculums. But I'll just jot down what I'm going to be doing each day. Okay, so I've got everything jotted down, and I just kind of look at ways to split up the readings a little bit. We definitely do retelling and narration and acting out of our main story and our main Bible story each week, so you can see things being repeated. We utilize our nature notebook from the nature study, reading those pages and doing those pages. Our science topic this week is tide pools. Tide pools is a really cool topic, but I wasn't able to get any of the additional books from the book menu from the library. I don't have them either. So we may try to do a read aloud or two on YouTube if I can find them. But for right now, I've just jotted down tide pool videos, because I think that's a cool kind of little nature feature to see, even though we don't have those in real life. We don't really have rocky beaches around here. And you'll notice I also jotted down counting by twos, just because I happen to remember that in his math, you see, he's learning counting by twos right now. That's a good skill for us to practice. So now that I've got this all jotted down, my next step is to replace all of our memory cards, which I keep in this little bag, with the new cards for this week. So I'll do that now. All right, so I have put all the memory statement cards we'll be using for the week in this pouch. And then I do jot down a few things in my planner to start off the week. I use this Homeschool Lesson Planning Minimalist notebook to make my week super easy. Once Monday starts, I do just jot down the headings for each day and the categories I use along the side. Then in this little section right here under this week, I will just write down some of the main big topics that we're studying this week. Tide pools. That's going to be an exciting topic for my ocean-loving little ones, so I'm going to highlight that so I can think throughout the week, what videos can we look at on tide pools? How can we talk about that? Maybe I can find a documentary Lines in art is a newly introduced topic this week. For Spanish, our vocabulary is supposed to be focused on places around the home and household items. So this is just a reminder to me to actually use these words throughout the week. Then counting by twos, I just know is gonna be a new, we're so used to counting by ones. That's gonna be kind of a mind-blowing topic right there. So just jot that down, that these are some of our big things that we're introducing this week, working on really growing in our understanding of. So that's what I jot down. You can kind of ignore this part. I use this side of the page as my own personal common and place book for things I am learning, and I am working on learning Spanish vocabulary. So I jot that down. My book is ready, my cards are ready. I am feeling very ready for the week. The last thing I have to do is I will add the songs that we are learning about, songs we're supposed to be listening to, both from Beautiful Mundo and songs from our Gentle Classical Primer. Any new songs from that, I will go ahead and I will add them to my Spotify playlist for school. And I will play this playlist through in certain portions of the day. I change it every week. So I'll take off old songs, add new songs. I'll keep on some songs that we really love. So it kind of slowly grows. But we'll have this list and I'll just play it when I'm cooking, when the boys are playing, so we can listen and sing along. Or I will be able to easily find a specific song that we want to listen to if we're really specifically going over one song on a certain day. So I will go ahead and finish my playlist, and then I will clean up my mess, and I am done planning for a week. I feel like it took a lot longer because I was talking about it and making a video of it, but it's a quick and smooth process since I just do the same thing every week. Hope that this was helpful and maybe gave you a little bit of inspiration. What is one of your favorite and most handy strategies when it comes to planning your homeschool? Let me know in the comments, and I'll be seeing you next time. Bye!